Our next speaker has the distinction of being the person who hired a young Barry Enzman in 1974. As a shrewd administrator, his vision and keen eyes and ears for talent have put the Howard County music program on the map. It's no small part, due to his staffing decisions, that our county can boast one of the best music programs in the state. So please welcome Mr. Gene Miller.
Following that group, what a nice placement on the program. I take full credit for everything. Well, you owe me. If you didn't read the recent article in the Sun paper, some of you probably don't get the Sun paper, there was an article in there about Barry, and there were several quotes in there. A couple of them were really true. It was a different time when I came into Howard County. I replaced a person who was in charge of library science and music. We had a way to go. One of the things that I will tell you before even talking about Barry is that after I signed my contract to come here, I asked about the adjudication process in the Howard County schools for band and chorus. And when I was told that no one in Howard County had ever received a 1 rating, no one, I thought, my God, why did I ever leave Frederick County? But we changed it. One of the biggest reasons that it changed is sitting in the front of the auditorium, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I took Mary Hovitt, who was then an associate superintendent of schools, and really I guess I'd have to say superintendent of schools, because Mary was very aggressive and knew exactly what she wanted from people. And she hired me and said, "You have a lot of work to do, young man." And I found that out. I took Mary one Saturday night to Hagerstown to hear a young Barry Enzman playing in a bar. I knew immediately that he knew exactly what he was doing. Everything there was a phrase, a beautiful sound, and just expert musicianship. I also knew he was from Lebanon Valley. I said to Mary, "What do you think?" She said, "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "Well, I would love to offer him a contract, but is it too soon to do that?" She said, "One other thing, he's not too easy, he's not too bad on the eyes." So did for Mary Hovitt. Prior to Barry's hiring, I usually would get into it and ask a few other questions, other than just musical questions. But he did come very highly recommended from people that I really respected in Pennsylvania at Lebanon Valley. And I knew that if I didn't grab him right away, he would be in Pennsylvania forever, and I didn't want that. So we hired him. I didn't ask the one question that I really needed to ask because, you know, some of you may know that I am an avid sports person and a Baltimore Colt fan for life, and then Baltimore Ravens. And anyway, I knew he was from Pennsylvania, and I thought if I ask him and he says, "I have the Steel Curtain and Pittsburgh Steelers," you're going to Skaggsville. There was an opening at Skaggsville, Barry. Part-time. I shared this with Sandy French here, who is one of my favorite people and has had so much to do with supporting music programs in Howard County schools. And I think I told her this story, that in early years in the band adjudications, I had a huge, great big sign put up. And as soon as the ratings came out, we put them up there. It wasn't very friendly and it wasn't really very nice to do that. But guess what? It was accountability, because when other schools saw 2, 2, 3, or 3, 3, 3, or 3, 3, 4, and then on comes Glenell, 1, 1, 1, year after year. I don't think there's anybody in the state of Maryland that has that kind of record. Now, if I can read my notes here, we'll go on. I am a little older. The word gifted has been thrown around a lot. And I was involved in gifted talent programs in Howard County when I was here many years ago. And they would talk about the top 2% or the top 1% maybe. I really have to tell you, I hired hundreds of teachers in the Howard County schools. This man is the most gifted. That I'm going to make for you is, I'm not really smart enough to have thought of this on my own, but it kind of goes back to the years of, and some of you are probably too young even to know this, when they had the debate, and it was Lloyd Benson and Dan Quayle. Okay, do you remember that comment? And the comment then that follows, this was my little story. Barry Enzman hated in-service meetings. He would do anything to miss them, okay? And we kind of had a pact because I knew better than to ever bring this up. He really didn't need my in-service meetings. And anyway, so it would always slide. Well, I had a very disgruntled teacher who came to me one time and said, you told me that I missed a meeting. And I said, yes, I did. And he said, well, Barry Enzman misses a lot of your meetings, and do you do anything about that? And that's where the Lloyd Benson came in, and it said, young man, you are not Barry Enzman. Barry, I hope that you will, in your retirement, do a lot of help with assessments and going out and helping other people. It has been a privilege beyond belief for me to have known you. I cherish your friendship, and I think Glenell, by this showing, says everything that needs to be said. God bless, and best to you in your retirement.